A very good evening. Hello, Barbara. Hello, Miles. Exactly. We try and make it enjoyable to persuade you to come back. So fantastic. It is very lovely to see you all on this bank holiday weekend. And welcome to Wobbly Spelling from Alison, apparently. I'll have a look at that. Hello, Auntie Roz. Fantastic to see you. Yeah, welcome to A Date with Dinner Set program 266 here on August 24th, bank holiday weekend in this part of the world. It is sunny and quite warm, and going to be quite warm tomorrow, I believe. I don't know if that's the case everywhere in the UK. More about that later. So I couldn't resist sort of having a theme going on. To this bank holiday programme, so I hope you will indulge me with that. And the slides that some of you who may have watched the trailer were seeing were all connected to things that either have been going on this week in our world, or indeed very much connected with this evening's programme. So as Mark and Alison said, that was indeed the theme tune to Heidi High, the comedy series from sorry, I didn't mean to sound so surprised when I said the word comedy. No, it was quite good in places. From 1980, which ran for quite a few years, actually, and a very memorable theme tune that bears more than a passing resemblance to Blue Suede Shoes. But the series, and indeed the theme music, that theme tune was composed by the wonderful Mr. Jimmy Perry. Jimmy Perry, of course, who also wrote the series Dad's Army and It Ain't Half Hot Mum, amongst other things. Very talented man. And, he also wrote the theme tune to Dad's Army, of course. And Heidi High was based on Jimmy Perry's experiences as a redcoat at Butlins. I'm not quite sure when. I'm going to imagine in the 1950s, since that is where he set his programme Heidi High. So as you can imagine, we have, it was good value, Alison, wasn't it? We have a bit of a holiday feel. I don't know how many people are still sort of going away at this time of year, because there's a sort of end of August, a bit of an odd time, isn't it? You know, even if you don't have sort of people connected to schools and college, there seems to be a sort of wind back in, you know, and sort of brace for the whatever is to come. I don't know. We will see, but there is definitely a holiday feel going on to this evening's programme. If you are with us live, then do feel free to join in the chat in the chat room about the music, the songs, the composers, the context, or anything that. Yes. Boogie Woogie Bugle Boy. Yeah, because that was still only going on, effectively only 10 years earlier, even though Jimmy Perry wrote that song in 1980. It was pastiche 1950s, and Boogie Woogie Bugle Boy, I believe, was written in, I'm going to say 1941. I could be incredibly wrong about that one. Yes. Thank you for that, Miles. And moving swiftly. Oh, before we move swiftly on, actually, can I just point out the absolutely beautiful flowers behind me, which were a lovely gift from Judy and Mark, who I saw yesterday afternoon, grown in their garden. A delight of dahlias. Very sweet smelling, almost as sweet as icing sugar, may I say, Judy. But they are beautiful, even with my incredible flower arranging skills. Can I just say, I've arranged them for camera rather than, if you saw them live, they're not a very good shape. But there we go. So, on with the show. No, sip of coffee, and then on with the show, and do enjoy. Oh, that must have been an experience, Miles. Amazing. Fantastic. Indeed. And as you all said, summer holiday, summer holiday. We were all going on a summer holiday. Yes, indeed. That is, of course, what it was. Taken, sorry, that's a very, very, very cloudy picture. Taken from the film of the same name, the film from 1963. It was the second single to be released from the film. My version's a little longer than the official single. The official single, I think, only runs about 2 minutes 30. Very short song, but it's great. Oh dear, I'm laughing at you. Oh gosh, hello Janet. So you train with Teddy? Wow, that's amazing. Gosh. If I can just sorry to interrupt your conversation in the chat room, but if I can just have a word there. So yeah, Summer Holiday from 1963, as sung and performed, of course, by Cliff Richard and The Shadows. That film, starring Cliff Richard. I haven't ever seen it all the way through. I don't think, well, not knowingly, anyway. So, yeah, 1963 was the date of that, and it was composed by the rhythm guitarist of The Shadows, Mr. Bruce Welch. So there we go. Yeah, so if you're those crowny, ranky things, you have to turn them off yourself in your settings if you don't want to see them. I'm afraid I don't have control over that. If I did have control over that, I'd have turned them off about 4 weeks ago when they first were added as a valuable feature of YouTube. Anyway, here's a much better button to press, the like button. So if you like what you see and hear, then do press the thumbs up button, and we will love you forever and ever if you do that. So I hope you enjoyed that one. I'm going to have some coffee. I need coffee to cope with you lot talking about those wretched things. Admire the dahlias, please, because they are lovely, and they don't last forever. I don't think they'll be around next Sunday. I don't know, but they're looking beautiful at the moment. So again, thank you, Mark and Judy, for those coffee. pre-sucked pizza slices. I always see this one more as stained glass, but you go with pizza. It's absolutely fine. Yes, it was. It was. Well, it was originally La Mer, as somebody said, La Mer. That's what it was originally. 1945 is the date on the tip of your tongues, composed by the singer and songwriter Charles Trenet. He himself didn't record it for about 2 years after he wrote it. And it then had English language lyrics written to it, and a version that a lot of people remember is the one by the amazing Mr. Bobby Darin, which came from 1959. Oh, actually, Barb, I do remember you talking about Kevin Spacey and being surprised, and then it all makes sense now. And I do remember you, yes, it all makes sense now. Bobby Darin, I didn't realise, had an incredibly short life. I didn't realise that he sadly departed this world at the age of 37 after some open heart surgery. But he left us with that one. Beyond the Sea, his version of La Mer, and of course he's very famous for his recording of Mac the Knife as well. And that sounds like a film I ought to put on my films to see list, Barb, so I will. No, I had that, Hannah. I had that in my little notes. Yes, thank you for that. Thank you for reminding me, because I can just in the distance see a scroll that says Nemo, and I was trying to remember what I'd written about that. Thank you. Yes, it was used, as Hannah says, in the closing credits on Finding Nemo. Thank you, Miles. And you're in good form tonight, chap, aren't you? I say. I think I need a cup of coffee. Why don't you look at the advert for what I put up on a Friday as the upload? I'm doing IRVING Berlin in August, as it were, and on a Friday the upload of IRVING Berlin was the very slow waltz ballad What'll I Do, which some of you would recognise as the theme music to Birds of a Feather. That's where it was used, but it is a very sort of haunting song, one of his very early songs, and I particularly liked it. It's such a treat to be able to play IRVING Berlin songs and to have such a vast choice. He wrote at least 1,250, if not 1,500. Various sources say different numbers songs, so it's rather easy to be able to choose, and hard at the same time. So got one more IRVING Berlin upload to come next Friday. It could be Bob Monkhouse. You might be right on that one. Dear IRVING Berlin lived to the age of 101, but he decided, probably wisely, not to attend the huge concert and party that was arranged for his 100th birthday. But snippets of that are on YouTube. It's quite phenomenal. What a chap. Who's drunk? Kevin Spacey. Oh, I'm with you. All makes sense. I'm getting drawn into this weird loop of a conversation, which for anyone watching on catch-up, which is now over 50% of our audience, will make no sense because the chat isn't there to contextualise. Rowan Atkinson. I'm going to play. Enjoy. Sanity has entered the room. Good evening, Maggie and Jerry. How lovely to see you. I wouldn't read all that chat above here. It makes zero sense to me. well, descending into the sea anyway, Mark. Yes. Of course, from Disney's Little Mermaid. 1989. Gosh, that sounds quite a long time ago when you put it like that. Little Mermaid was the start of what's known as the Disney Renaissance, for going back to their traditional values, what they did best after a fairly disastrous time in the 70s and early 80s. So yeah, I agree, Bob. It's a lovely song, part of your world, as you've all said, as sung by Ariel, either in the original, obviously animated version, or the live remake from 2023, and that beautiful song. And the whole score, of course, composed by the winning team of Howard Ashman and Ellin Mackay. Disney had bought the rights to sort of convert that Hans Christian Andersen fable many years before, but it took quite a shake around, I think, in the Disney Corporation to get moving again on films. Ah, yes. Clock. Oh, that clock. Right, that's one of the... Let's all look at the clock down there on the floor. It's one of the spare clocks. It doesn't currently have a battery in, because being the size what it is, it takes up a battery every 5 minutes. But it's just there because... why is it there? Because I took it off the wall to make space for something else. But yeah, a good point. I think it's always good to have a look at something out of frame when you don't like the song, because there's something else good coming along in a minute, probably. Well, there you go. There you go. Indeed. What button are we going to press now? Okay, so that was part of your world. So before we move into our next song, today, August the 24th, is... Oh, wrong Pluto. Is Pluto Demoted Day. I love this one. Pluto Demoted Day, August the 24th. And we're all sort of young enough, aren't we, to remember that Pluto used to be a planet. It was indeed, from 1930 through 2006, when they worked out really that it didn't justify its existence as a planet. So the ninth planet was no more, so to speak. And that happened on August the 24th in 2006. So today, August the 24th, is International Pluto Demoted Day. And because Pluto is no longer a planet, it's referred to as a dwarf planet. Yes, a dwarf planet, which apparently, and I read, is a celestial body that orbits the sun and has enough mass to assume a nearly round shape, but that has not cleared the area around its orbit and is not a moon. So that is the definition, apparently, of a dwarf planet. I'm sure I had a friend at primary school called Oliver who had enough mass to assume a nearly round shape. But I'm not sure about him clearing the area around him. Anyway, there we go. That's what today is. So you're glad it's gone. Fantastic. Oh dear. This program is bonkers, it really is, I tell you. Let's just put that up for a minute while I have a drink. It's clearly Pluto the dog is the most sane thing happening on this evening's Date with a Dinner Set program 266. Oh dear, oh dear. Something lively. I'm joking. He was lovely. All of him. There we are. It's a little bit of calm water. We try and please everyone. You see, we have calm and choppy in this chat room, and who identifies as calm and who identifies as a choppy person? Anyway, that was indeed Surfboard, composed in 1965 by the wonderful Mr. Antonio Carlos Jobim. I've pictured him there with his son Paolo Jobim, because that picture was taken on Paolo's 15th birthday, and in honour of that, his father bought him a surfboard and taught him to surf, and that song was composed on Ipanema Beach, and that photo was taken on Ipanema Beach on Paolo Jobim's 15th birthday, and it was for him that the song Surfboard really was composed. A great instrumental track, lots and lots of fun with cross accents and stuff. Someone can explain to Miles how to get rid of it. Yeah, I agree, it's quite annoying. So many things. People are so sensitive these days, aren't they? They find various things. I don't take myself too seriously, you see. But there we all I would say is I wish YouTube had given me a global button to switch it all off, you see. But there we go. I'm going to press this button now that says, if you've happened upon this absolute madness and you're not subscribed to the channel, and you would like to be, then do press the subscribe button. It's YouTube, so of course it's free, and press the like button, and do leave me a comment somewhere, either on this video or one of my uploads. I'd love to read it, share it on. That does help our channel to grow. We've picked up, I think, 2 new subscribers this week, which is always lovely to know. Help is on the way, by the sound of it, Miles, from Hannah. The help centre. Who needs to go to the help? Oh, I see. I really have lost the plot. Okay, something else. Too much Suffolk air, Miles. That looks about right. Follow that, Miles. That'll keep you busy, mate. Yes, Alison. There are many verses to Sailing, which you all correctly identified, of course. But when you haven't got the words, there's a limit to what you can do with that song, beautiful though it is. And I couldn't really decide whether I wanted to play a fast one or a slow one, which is why I decided we'd have a melding of those two things. So indeed, first of all, you had Sailing, which was composed by Gavin Sutherland of the Sutherland Brothers in 1972. The very famous version, as you all identified, was Rod Stewart's. From 1975, he was 30 at the time. He really did not want to release that as a single. It was one of the tracks on his latest album. He was very much against it, but of course, it did extremely well. And I think it was number one for 4 weeks. Brother Mark, I do believe, a medley melding, yes. I do believe you are correct in that a year later in 76 it was used for certainly some programme. I think it was a programme about the Ark Royal. That's what my friend Wikipedia says. I don't know. I could be wrong on that. Then secondly, we morphed into Rolf Reeder's classic song on the Crest of a Wave. What a man Ralph Reeder was. Quite an incredible fellow, really. 1934 that song was originally composed, and of course a stalwart song of the gang shows, which he famously invented the format for, but of course he did an awful lot of work, some of it covert, during the war, but a real character and great showman, putting on those shows, impresario if you like, but also very skilled. He wrote a huge amount of material, not only sketches, but also songs as well, quite a few songs. So yeah, here we are on Bank Holiday, and it got me thinking, actually. We never know what the August Bank Holiday weather's going to do. It looks quite good in this part of the world tomorrow. So in 2019, in this part of the world, we had our hottest August Bank Holiday, which reached 33 degrees. I'm told that the coldest bank holiday, you have to go back to the 1980s for that, and it was somewhere up in Yorkshire. So all you Stanleys up there shiver away because you were only just above freezing on that day, 2 degrees apparently. And there are various records for how wet it's been, depending where you were in the UK on August bank holiday. So whatever it does, you can guarantee bank holiday is always going to be unpredictable. We are going to finish with something calm, Alison, you'll be pleased to hear. So do enjoy our final piece of music before we say goodnight in our usual way.
Fourth Tyne Dogger, southwesterly, veering westerly, 5 to 7, occasionally gale 8. Rain, then showers, moderate or good. Fisher, southwesterly, veering westerly, 6 to gale 8, perhaps severe gale 9 later. Rain, then wintry showers, moderate or poor, becoming good. German Bight, Humber, Southwesterly, veering westerly, 7 to severe gale 9, decreasing 6 in Humber later. Rain, then showers, moderate or poor, becoming good. Thames, Dover, White, Portland, Plymouth. Southwesterly, 6 to gale 8, occasionally severe gale 9, veering westerly 4 or 5 later. Rain at times, moderate or poor, becoming good. Biscay, southwesterly, 6 to gale 8, occasional rain, moderate or poor. Trafalgar, in north, southwesterly 4 or 5, otherwise variable 3 or 4, but mainly northerly in southeast. Drizzle in north, otherwise mainly fair, moderate or good. Finisterre, southwesterly 6 to gale 8, occasional rain, moderate or poor. Seoul, Lundy, Fastnet, Irish Sea, Shannon. Southwesterly, veering westerly, 6 to gale 8, decreasing 4. Rain at times, moderate or poor, becoming good.
There we go, and that stirred up some memories for you, I can tell. Yes, the music is used for the shipping forecast at 12:48, I believe, in the morning. As I think Hannah said, first of all, Sailing By, composed by Mr. Ronald Binge in 1963. 1963, curiously, our last song was composed the same year as our first song, Summer Holiday. So that was our merry little holiday sea connection for Bank Holiday weekend. And as always, lots and lots of fun to prepare it and to play it for you and to be amused by your bizarre chat in the chat room. So thank you so much for being with us this evening. Do have a very good Bank Holiday and indeed the whole week that is to come. And I look forward to the great pleasure of playing for you one more time in August. Next Sunday evening. Do take very good care of yourselves. Thanks so much for listening. Good night.